smoked brisket, Guinness casserole, less than 10 minutes spent outside, and a trip to the pub. Who's going to complain at that? So good. Right, chimney starter's lit, so let's run through these ingredients and get prepped. We're cooking today with a standard supermarket rolled brisket. This was less than 20 quid. It's going to serve about 10 people. Got a few cans of Guinness. In my opinion, the best beer to use if you're braising beef. And I'm going to go with the standard salt and pepper rub. We're going to be building quite a lot of flavour through the sauce, and obviously we've got the Guinness, so let's let the beef and the smoke do the talking. Got some aromatics for the base of our sauce. We've got red onion, carrot and garlic. And I've got some fresh herbs. We're going to make a bouquet garni to go in the sauce. And the only other thing we're going to need is some beef stock. Right, let's get this beef prepped. A brisket's rolled like this to give us an easily manageable piece of meat from what can normally be quite a scraggy piece of beef. I'm going to unroll it, see what we're working with and go from there. So we've actually got quite a nice piece of brisket. As you can see, it's very lean, and that's why we use the smoke and braise method for a piece of brisket like this. If we just try and smoke this all the way up to temperature, the likelihood is it's going to come out dry. By smoking, then braising in some liquid, we can take this all the way to pulling temperature without it drying out. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to smoke this almost exactly as it is to get maximum smoke penetration. Let's go. So my brisket's 1.6 kilos, and we want a tablespoon of salt for each kilo of meat. So I'm going to eyeball 1 2/3 tablespoons. And I'm going to match that with pepper. Right, so that's good to go. Right, that's my brisket rubbed. Let's go get this chimney of charcoal tipped out and bring the barbecue up to temperature. My normal lumpwood charcoal steak using our British ash charcoal. I've got 4 oak chunks in there. We're going to give this about 3 hours of smoke. So that's our brisket on. Let's get the lid down. So of course, like any smoke, I need to monitor my temperature. Now I love pit probes, but on a smoke like this where it's going to go into a braise, I'm less worried. I'm going to monitor my lid gauge, and as long as I see that between about 180 and 200, I'm pretty happy the barbecue's at 150 to 160. And if I need to adjust the temperature down, I'll close down this vent. For the temperature up, I'll open it up. For now, I'm happy with that position. Right, we've been smoking for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, so we've got 40 minutes to get this braise ready for when the brisket comes off the smoker. Let's go. These onions are going to be cooked for about 3.5 hours, so we really don't need to worry about dicing them too small. Really good glug of British rapeseed oil. We're going to get that mixed through and get these onto a very low hob. We want to sweat them, not fry them. I'm using 8 cloves of garlic. Smash them, take the tails off and give them a really rough dice. And into the pot. So my carrots are washed and chopped. You can peel them if you like. We like our carrots to have a bit of bite to them, so I'm going to add these with about 20 minutes left to go of the cook. Now let's just get our fresh herbs and make that bouquet garni. That's good to go. That's going to go into our sauce and we'll remove it at the end. I'm going to keep sweating down the onions and garlic for another 20 minutes and then we'll add some liquid. Okay, it's time to finish making up this braise and pull the brisket off the smoker. The onions and garlic absolutely full of flavour, and we're going in with about half a litre of rich beef stock. Now it's time for the main event. Two cans of black gold, and we'll go in with our bouquet garni. Just nestle that out of the way at the side of the pot. And now I'm going to go get our brisket. Look at that. So it smells amazing and it's taken on great smoke colour. Just looking at it, I'm not sure it's going to fit our pot in one piece, so I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces. It feels super juicy after 3 hours smoking. That's looking and smelling amazing. So it's time to get the lid on, get it into the oven, and give it another 3 hours at about 175 degrees C. I'm going to come back every 30 minutes or so and give this a stir. I want this brisket to pull, which means taking it to about 96 degrees C. Sitting for 3 hours in a bath of liquid running at 175, that should be really easy. But there is always that chance it takes a little bit longer, so we'll just keep an eye on it. See you in a bit. So it's been in the oven for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm going to pull it out, give it a stir, and check the temperature to see where it's up to. Take this out now. So we're reading about 93 to 95 degrees C across the various pieces of brisket. That means we're getting pretty close to be able to pull this, but with food like this, we can't really overcook it. So I'm going to put it back in the oven, drop the temperature a little bit, and we're going to go out for a dog walk and a pint. Couldn't go to the pub if this was still on the weather, could I? Oh, right, back from the pub. So it's 6:40 and the beef's now had nearly 3.5 hours in its braise. By this point it should pull really easily, so let's get it out and see. Oh. So as you saw, ready to pull, moist, tender, and absolutely delicious. I'm going to pull the beef out of the braise now and shred it separately so I can turn that braise into a lovely, thick, rich sauce. And this is going on the hob now, which is going to reduce for about half an hour. Let's get this beef pulled. And what you need to do is find the grain and then pull at 90 degrees to that. You can see my grain's running this way. It's going to pull that way. Doesn't that look absolutely stunning? You're a much better person than me if you can resist picking at that. Right, that's going to stay warm and it will go back into our braise once it's reduced. And our carrots will go into that sauce to cook about halfway through the reduction. We're going to have this with some mashing greens, so I'm going to get those ready now. Right, the carrots are nearly cooked, the mash is on, and the greens are ready to go. Let's get this beef back in that sauce. And there it is, yet another absolutely epic smoked meal with less than 10 minutes spent outside. We've got a few more of these coming over the next few weeks, so if you like the content, please give us a like and a subscribe. Cheers.